Hello, boys and girls. This is your old friend RJ City, and this is the Hollywood Squared Circle, where we talk about wrestling episodes of non-wrestling shows. And today we are talking about the Jeff Foxworthy Show, Season 2, Episode 21, entitled Wrestling Opera. For those of you who don't know, and really, why would you know? The Jeff Foxworthy Show aired on ABC from 1995 to 1996, and then was canceled, then picked up by NBC, where it aired until 1997, where it was canceled again. It starred Jeff Foxworthy, Ann Cusack, yes, there's another Cusack, Haley Joel Osment, Jonathan Lipnicki, and of course, Bill Engvall. This wrestling episode only starred one wrestler, and it's 1997, so who else? Randy fucking Savage. Oh, and also Eric Bischoff, who I guess was just hanging out. Anyway, here's what happens. Jeff, his son, and his friends want to go to this big wrestling show called Slam Bo Ree. No, not the WCW pay-per-view called Slamboree. This is actually spelled SLAM-BO-REE. Slam Bo Ree. But apparently it's so hard to get a ticket that they send Bill to go get tickets from a scalper. But Bill is so comedically inept that he accidentally buys tickets for Sally Jesse Raphael. So now Jeff has to tell his son that they're not going to Slam Bo Ree. That's okay, because apparently Haley Joel Osment had a nighttime school field trip to the opera on the same night, and Jeff's wife is like, great, you can just take him there. Which is really sad, because Haley Joel Osment really wanted to go to the wrestling show, and he starts emulating Randy Savage by saying, "Start praying, sucker." That's what he says before he does his missile dropkick, and that is absolutely not a thing Randy Savage says or does. And then Jeff is so upset, he's like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna get tickets myself. I'm gonna take my son to the wrestling show, and I am not gonna tell my wife. So they go, and no wonder they couldn't get a ticket, because this huge WCW show is taking place in a high school gym. The main match is Randy Savage versus Spiderhead, who's a fictional wrestler that we never actually get to see. First of all, how do you have Randy Savage and not give him an actual opponent? Second of all, how do you name a guy Spiderhead and not bother to show what he actually looks like? And as Jeff explains, back at the old famous pay-per-view Rumblethon 93, Spiderhead spit at Miss Elizabeth. So this feud has been going on for at least 4 years. So Randy comes to the ring, and one of Jeff's friends heckles Randy, but Randy turns around and thinks it's Jeff, so he grabs Jeff and he's like, "The fuck is your problem?" Jeff is terrified and tries to give Randy his business card, but Randy Savage eats Jeff Foxworthy's business card. And then, that's it. Nothing more happens between Randy and Jeff. We don't even get to see the match. That's it. Oh, and this whole time, the ring announcer and the commentator has been Eric Bischoff, sitting ringside in an NWO shirt with zero explanation. That's it. And a couple days later, Haley Joel Osment fails a pop quiz about the night opera he was supposed to go to. So his mom is like, "What the fuck? You guys went to the wrestling show, didn't you?" So everybody is now sad and angry and whatever, and Jeff and Haley Joel Osment have this big, sad heart-to-heart about not collectively lying to your wife and mother. And then they decide to make it up to her by going to the opera anyway. But they don't take her to the opera, they take Bill Engvall again. And they all get in trouble for heckling the opera just like they did at the wrestling show. And that's the episode. No credit scene, nothing. What an absolute fucking waste of a wrestling episode and Randy Savage. I met you halfway on a ridiculous premise, and you still dropped the ball. If you wrote and starred in this episode of the Jeff Foxworthy Show, you might be fucking shit. So that was the wrestling episode of the Jeff Foxworthy Show. This has been the Hollywood Squared Circle, and I have completely wasted your time.
Guests of the RJ City Show, subscribe to his channel, follow him on social media, and buy his t-shirts at ProWrestlingTees.com/RJ City.